Day 30. Ah, I'm so proud of myself. So, let's get this out to the public. Oh, easy, Rara. Oh, I'm so proud. Here my phone is hanging. You guys, this is work. Good evening, Mary. I'm sharing out the link. You have to bear with me. My phone is very slow because of. Hey, God. If you people know how frustrating. If you see me not replying messages at this point, it's not even me. It's my like WhatsApp lags like crazy, and it just makes it so uncomfortable. This is crazy. This is crazy hard. Maybe you should give me a. Where have I not sent it? Okay, so last group. So this class might just be the most important class of everything that I've been teaching. I can't call it the most important. Everything has been equally important. But this class will teach you how to get customers and get those customers to keep coming back, which is the goal of any entrepreneur. It's easier to sell to the people that you already know than to look for new customers all the time. So if you can get your old customers to keep buying into your brand vision and your brand story, you keep making money. And you can always count on the fact that you always keep making money. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for showing up from day one all the way to day 30. I know it's not easy. It's not easy both for me that is teaching it and for the people that are burning data watching me teach all of um, these things. Right? So, are we ready or are we ready? Of course, we're ready. Now, the major thing that you need to know is that stories sell. No matter, I don't know what culture you're from, what religion you practice, everything is all stories, right? You are born into it and you are handed stories, right? Stories is what makes us humans. Like we're able to recall the past and retell our history over and over again to so many people, right? So your ability to tell stories can make or mar your brand. Today I was on YouTube, I was watching um one speaker. She was sharing her thoughts on branding. She was previously the marketing executive for Apple, and then she went on to become the marketing executive for Uber, and then Netflix, and I think there's one other big brand. Right, and she was talking, and when she wanted to introduce herself, she started with a story, right? She told a story about where she was coming from, how she got to where she was, and then told another story to tell us about Yuba, right? You know what I realized here? She never said this is she never just introduced herself just like that. She told stories because stories are memorable. People tend to remember stories more than they remember facts. Now that I've told you this story of what I watched earlier and how she told a story, you are more likely to remember what I watched earlier than you had to remember if I just say stories tell facts, right? Very funny. So, the idea of storytelling works mostly because it connects to the emotions of the audience, right? Stories are not always just bland facts are bland, right? But stories connect to the emotional part of the audience, right? Back in the day, I'm going to pull out something I did a screenshot of recently. I make a lot of screenshots o. How many things mo ti screenshot ẹnu gbà ó ti gbà o. Okay, so we have the right side of the brain, we have the left side of the brain, right? Back in the day, um marketers used to appeal. I'm talking in the 90s, in the 80s, when tech just started coming up. Marketers used to appeal to the left side of the brain. So marketing used to be all about being rational, being logical, being analytical, being it used to be data driven, factual, objective, literal, right? Everything used to come with like these long manuals where they are like explaining just the product. If you watch older ads, you notice that it's all about here are the features and they are listing out all this. It was a battle of who had the most features, right? Now marketing is different because we no longer market that way. We now market to the right brain, where we connect with emotions, we connect with creativity, with feelings, empathy. That's the right brain, right? Imagination, intuition, and the big picture. That's all the right brain. And that is what we do in marketing today, right? But the best way to do all of this is by telling stories. The power of storytelling is so amazing. And I think I where did I really start getting the concept of storytelling? I would say that it started to when I started to read more of Seth Godin's work, right? It just let me really understand the concept of storytelling. Because storytelling connects to the emotions of the customer. Personally, when I want to market, I test out like you may not know, but I'm probably using like 4 5 strategies just to market a particular one thing. I could start on a day and just market to the left brain, and the next day I'll market to the right brain and compare sales. Like how many was I able to sell when I marketed to the left brain? I'll tell you. When I first marketed MSM, introduced the new graphics and everything, on the first day, I marketed using the left brain. It was analytical. I was talking about, the rational aspect, why you should buy this thing rationally, right? And then I was talking about how it's logical to buy it, right? And the analytical part. And I was giving numbers, right? How many sales did I get? Drum roll. One. One sale. Meanwhile, when I shifted to the right brain, I got 5 sales same day, right? So the idea is that that was when I used storytelling. That was where the difference was made. Now, for most people, they don't understand the power that being able to tell stories gives you, right? We humans, we live in a continuous, I would not call it boring, but everything It's just it just rolls over and over and over again. But the major thing that bonds all of us, the thing that connects all of us is our individual stories, right? Because through our individual stories, there are meeting points where my story links with your story. Just like right now, you're on this live, I'm on this live too. But because we are linked within this very moment, this is your story and this is also my story. I hope I'm not going to I hope I'm not going too philosophical on you guys. Hope you guys are following me. Are you following me? Let me know in the comments. So you are more likely to remember a brand that tells you a story than you are to remember a brand that just shows you the product, right? And here's the thing, because personally, I don't know why I do this. I'm a marketing nerd, right? I'm on Instagram, people scroll for reels, I scroll for the ads. If an ad makes me rethink and want to buy something, then I need to know why I feel like buying that thing because of the ad that I saw, right? So um, one thing you will notice with brands that use storytelling and brands that don't use storytelling is that with a brand that use storytelling to market, you remember them later on. And the ones that don't use any form of stories, you forget them. Now let's bring this back to marketing on TV ads, right? You notice that sometimes you'll be watching an MTN ad and it has nothing to do with the thing that they are selling. It's just a story of a young boy who is drinking tea in his house and goes out to play football, and from the football field he comes back home, he's trying to maybe type something on his phone or on his laptop, and the network is bad, so he's not able to do. It's just like a story. Being they're not really pushing facts in your face, right? They are telling you a story. Now you're going to remember that story every time that ad comes up. You are going to remember the story more than you'd have remembered. You remember the story and then you remember the, oh, it's a bonus, right? In fact, if they want to do it more, if they want to do it better, they'll add a song. Who remembers this Indomie ad? Ah, God, even me, I've forgotten. Is it Mommy Yo 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 or something like that? Can't even remember. Right? But we use stories in marketing because stories are, hey, mama, we're too good, oh, you're too good, you give us indomie. Like, I can still remember the ad. I can still remember the ad right now, right? So when you think of um that is what we call the power of storytelling in marketing, right? It's insane, it's crazy, it works. So let's get back to the topic. What are the benefits of using storytelling in your marketing? The first one is that it increases brand awareness, right? More people know about your brand if you use storytelling well. Because when you tell me a story, I have the urge to tell another person that story. And that other person will probably tell another person that story, depending on how powerful that story is. Today, while I was scrolling on Instagram, I found a video about a person that had an accident. But during the accident that she had a cup. It was like a stencil. I don't know what the name of the brand is. But everything burnt inside the car except a cup. And so she made a video and announced it, and the sales for that company spiked because of that story. Now, here's why I remember the story. The company now said, just because your car, you had like an accident with your car, blah blah blah, and you showing people that this our product is so good, it's so quality that even after the entire thing in the whole car burnt, it didn't burn, right? And it spiked our sales. We are going to give you a new car, a brand new car, right? I remember the story because it was a story. If they were just marketing the cup to me, I wouldn't have any reason to tell this story to you, right? But because now I've mentioned this brand, now you know the story, and now more people are going to know the story. For me, I share my story on WhatsApp every time. I remind people where I'm coming from, how I got here. I'm telling you this story so that you can tell other people this story and other people can tell other people this story. It is why you would recommend your friend to connect with me. It is why you would tell somebody that, oh, I attended MSM. This lady taught for 30 days, right? That is story worthy. And because you've done that, more people are aware of the brand, more people are aware of Peter. So the idea is that stories bring brand awareness. Now, another thing stories do is it brings emotional connection. So when I heard the story about the cup, the stencil, and the cup brand, right? When I heard the story about it, because I felt an emotional connection with the brand. I was like, this brand is nice for them to have considered, giving this woman um a brand new car. Another story that I want you to, like, I feel like can connect to is the story of yellow plates. Who knows yellow plates here? They sell this um Oreo puff puff or something like that. I don't know. I saw it on an influencer's page back when I was still on TikTok. So this influencer bought this particular brand of puff puff and she liked it and she made a video about it and shared it. And people connected with that story. And people bought and bought from the brand to the point where they could not even handle the others anymore. Right? But the reason why people were able to connect so much was because of the emotion that the influencer brought in into that particular product. It is not so much about the product as it is about the emotion, the emotional connection that people feel with a product, right? So another thing that's another benefit of storytelling is differentiation. With good storytelling, you're able to differentiate yourself from other people within your same niche, right? People are able to say, okay, this person's story makes them different from every other person. There are so many people that teach what I'm teaching, sales and marketing, so many people online. But what differentiates me from all of them is my story. My story is mine alone. I'm the only one that I know. That's okay. Oh, I dropped out. I am still killing it in business. Blah 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 blah. Right? That is my own story. That is my own story. So another thing that okay, another benefit is that you are able to gain more customer engagement. The better you are as a storyteller, the more people want to engage your post, your content online. The more people feel the need to engage because people love stories. People love to be connected. If there's anything that we crave the most as human beings, it is that feeling of connection. To not feel like you're alone in this world, to feel like even though you feel lonely, there are other people that feel lonely, and so you all feel lonely together. It is that feeling of togetherness that almost everybody wants. So far we're humans, right? So the last one is customer retention. Just because a person has connected to your brand, they understand your story, they started your journey with you, they are more likely to stay with you, right? And the more stories you tell, the more you can make this happen. So there are different types of storytelling in business. We have the brand storytelling, we have customer stories, we have product storytelling, we have employee stories, and we have community storytelling. So I'm going to go over each one very quickly. So the brand storytelling focuses on the brand history, the brand values, the brand mission, and the brand personality. Everything within this storytelling is just to help people connect with the brand as a whole, right? I could tell you that my mission is to make more millionaires out of Nigerian youth, and that is my mission truly, right? I can tell you that these are the things I value. I value hard work. I value honesty. I value consistency. I value integrity, right? I value quality work above all. These are things I share regularly on my status. In fact, we have the community codes emphasizing on all of these brand values, all of these things that I value as a brand, right? So another one is personality, right? The kind of person I'm a very vibey person. I'm not slow, I'm not dull, right? So all of these things makes up my brand story, right? All of these things makes up my brand story. So the next one is customer stories. Um, and customer stories help you build credibility and trust. It's not enough for you to say, okay, this is who I am, this is what I am, right? Other people need to be vouching for you too. When other people start to vouch for you, people know that, okay, this is not fake, this is real, this is the real deal, right? So customer stories helps to build more trust, and it helps you, um to reach more people, really. And the good thing about okay, let me even explain what customers. I think it's just common sense. But customer stories is when you're sharing a particular way that your product or your service has helped your customer. I shared back when I was doing like I was running the consultation as slots and I was sending them out in a day, in a day, in a day. I would tell stories about customers who had come to me for consultation, had provided so and so pathway for them, and they are taking it, run with it, and gotten results, right? So yeah, um, storytelling works. So product storytelling focuses on the product and how you tell a story of how that product can solve a particular problem for your audience. So product storytelling will be me using the newsletter, selling the newsletter with a story. I have a newsletter that you guys already know about. It's called the Business Vibes newsletter. If you are not already subscribed, you are missing out. It's 5,000 naira currently as at me making this video. But when you probably get there, I don't know what year you are going to see the video. I don't know. So I wouldn't be able to. But currently, if you're watching this live at this very moment, it's 5,000 naira. Subscribe now. 5,000 naira for a year. For a year. So, um, number four is employee stories, right? I was talking about product. Yeah, so it's me telling a story about the particular product, right? Number four is employee stories. Now, it is the stories that the people that work with you are telling about you, right? And this helps people to really, really understand you as a person. You cannot pretend. When you're a bad person, the people that work with you, they know you're a bad person, right? And it's not going to, you can only pretend to the outside world for so long. If you're bad, you're bad. Like people know eventually, they'll find you out. And then the last one is community storytelling, right? It focuses on the relationship between the brand and the community. So, and its community. So, if you look at my brand now and my community, you can already pick up some stories based on what the community members are saying, right? So, how do you create a compelling brand story? So, the first thing that you must know is your brand. And I already talked about branding, and I referred you to a video that I made of Pretty Money on WhatsApp, right? You need to understand your brand, define your brand values, define your brand mission, and your brand personality. Next, you need to identify who your target audience is. Also spoke about that in the Printing Money on WhatsApp um, brand video. Um, So you need to understand who your customers are. You need to understand their needs. You need to understand their desires, their pain. You need to also understand, who they are, age, what they do, all of that to help you really understand them. Because it is when you understand them that you can now relate to them and create a story that can relate to them, to their struggles, and to their current lifestyle. So after that, you want to highlight the problem and the solution. So what problems do they have? What solutions can you provide for them, right? So you're not going to tell stories about how you are solving the problem, about how you are providing a solution to those problems that they have, right? So now the story you are going to tell cannot be a bland story. This story has to carry emotion. It has to make them feel something. It has to make them feel connected, like they are not alone, like you've got them, you can understand what they are feeling, you've been through that too, and you can relate to their struggles, and that is why you have created this particular solution for that their problem, right? And final one is that you need to make it authentic. Don't lie because you want to tell a story. Tell real stories, because people can know when you are lying about your brand or when you are lying in your story. Moreover, why lie? Because you forget the lie, but these people will remember your lie. So the role of storytelling in building customer relationship, right? So the first one is emotional connection. So in building customer loyalty. So the first one is emotional, because you've told your story several times in different ways. People feel connected to you. They don't just feel connected to you like, oh, I know this person. They feel like I deeply know this person and I can relate to this person because I've been part of this person's world. I kind of understand their stories. I can relate to these stories that this person has. Another thing is that it creates brand. It increases brand awareness. And I think I've talked about that already. I've also talked about customer engagement and the personal connection that storytelling does, right? So, so how do you integrate storytelling into a customer's journey? The first thing you want to do is use a story to introduce your brand, right? And that's something you'd notice if you watch a lot of TEDx talks. People don't just say, okay, this is my brand, this is what we do. They tell a story about how they came about their brand. Like, they say, oh, I accidentally was blah blah blah, or my brother had an injury and so we're looking for a cure and a solution, and then we ended up testing out all um the traditional medicine and it did not work. So we had to come up with our own. I'm sure you've heard a story like this before. And we had to come up with our own holistic blah 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 blah, and it worked. And that is why we're on a mission to change the world by providing this thing on a large scale. That's the story to introduce your brand. Right. And it's a story that you use during the awareness stage, right? So another thing is during the consideration stage, right, where your customer is thinking, should I buy this or should I buy this? You can use a story to convince your customers about why this thing you are selling is a better option than the one that they are thinking of buying. Right? Oh, here's how we came up with this more potent. It's more potent, it's the best on the market. We tested out every other thing. This our product is the best in the market, right? So you can also use a story during the purchasing um phase of the brand, right? When they are about to buy, um you help them feel connected to the impact of that product that they are buying. Some brands would do things like, you know, make make it feel like, okay, they are not just buying this product, they are helping a cause, they are feeding the homeless with the profits that there's just so much things that oh, beats me. That brands do. And another story you can tell is during the loyalty stage. So you've already bought, they bought from you, and you can now tell a story to seal the deal and make sure that they keep buying from you. But of all things, forget the stories, forget if your product is bad, your product is bad, and that is a story on its own. So you have to actually be good at what you do. You have to actually have something significant to offer. You have to actually have something incredible that you do, right? So just give me a second. This thing that beats me. If I catch it. So let's talk about acquisition now of customers through storytelling. The thing I want you to know here is the stories people tell about you matters a lot. It matters more than the stories you tell about yourself. When your product is good and when you provide quality service, people are going to tell other people about that thing. And because they are telling other people about it, you are going to grow in sales, you're going to grow in reputation, you're going to grow in visibility because people are talking about what you are doing, right? And the more people do that, the more you are able to get customers. Now, if you're able to tell these stories very well, you're able to generate brand awareness and visibility. The stories you tell about yourself is able to reach far and wide, which means more business for you. Right now, the retention part is how is when you are able to keep those customers because of the stories that you continuously tell, because of how your brand continuously helps people, that even they are part of the stories that your brand, they are part of your brand success stories, right? So for you, building your brand is all about continuously generating success stories, right? It's not about just building a brand. You have to continuously generate success stories, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, um, We have officially, but let me take questions before I pronounce MSM over. Do you have any questions for me on storytelling? Well. I want to record myself saying this part. Uh-oh. In the absence of any questions, I pronounce MSM officially over 30 days of teaching. So this is, oh God, I'm so proud of myself. Okay, guys. So no questions. That's the end of MSM. This video will always be here. You can always be here for as long as it's here. And if I don't feel like living it, I'll just delete it. But just I can't delete. But tell your friends about it. Tell your family. Let them know that Kita did a thing, and I taught as much as I could every day for 30 days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's officially over. Now I can start sleeping. Ah, God, you guys. A consistent queen. I stand. Hey! Tomorrow like this, I will sleep. Today, if I after this, I slept. I woke up by 6. Tell everybody, Mama, classes tonight. I slept back. Hilltop. I noticed you throughout. You showed up. I'm looking at your internet party showing up every day for 30 days. I think I saw Adeshowa too. I saw Timothy. Did I see Timothy a lot? I saw Technical Giants. I think Mary came. I saw Mary sometime. But ladies and gentlemen, it's over. It's man, I'm so proud. Right now, I'm moving. I'm going to be teaching a lot on Instagram. If you are still sleeping, if you're not following me on Instagram, you better go and start following me. It's going to rain freebies from next week. It's going to rain freebies. When I say freebies, it's going to rain free stuff. Forget MSM. I'm going to start giving out things again on IG, right? Because I'm going to give you guys more templates, more formulas, more solutions to making money in 2024. Because Kita, and I don't get tired of giving people things that will actually make them money. You guys, let me even record all these things. Thank you. Let's not forget to leave comments on YouTube on the videos. Go to all the videos, please. Leave comments. Help me leave comments on everything as you are watching them. Be leaving comments, right? So that the videos will reach more people. And don't forget to share. Tonight, I'm going to be going on a sharing spree because I'm going to scatter WhatsApp. Ladies and gentlemen, it was nice teaching and sharing value with you guys. I hope to see you next year because we're going to be doing MSM again in 2024. By that time, I would have grown. I'd have grown. Hopefully, I'll be doing it from another country. Hopefully. So, guys, bye. Yes, go and tell stories. Go ye into the world and preach the word. Oh, and